let's do this. This is where we digress. So the Indians, emphatic comeback to say the least. Apart from their fielding, which was truly horrendous.
Shambolic to say the least, eh?
Exactly.
Stokes kind of made up for it. You don't see Stokes juggling like that, do you?
No, not at all. I think he's tired though now.
Yeah, he's had a long stretch, poor guy.
Yeah, credit to him. We say that, but he only played in India. He didn't do the Sri Lanka tour even.
Yeah, but I think just that last test match in India destroyed him.
These guys were saying they lost nearly. I lost like nearly 8-9 kg just sweating out water.
While having Delhi belly.
Partly, yeah. But yeah, he was like him, Sibley, and a few others lost a lot of weight just being out in the heat, which is as expected, isn't it? It's India. It's not going to be cold.
Yeah. I was excited by India's performance actually. Not so much the win. I think I'll be fair, and I think the toss is very, very important in these conditions. And
that's the first thing I was going to say. What it looks like is you win the toss, you win the game. And right now it looks like bowl first. It's easier to chase, apparently.
Yeah, I think, but it's been like that for a while. It's been like that since the 50-50 World Cup. It's been like that since most T20 series, and I think especially in India. And when you start at that time, you bowl first and you chase.
There's a lot more fearlessness and a lot more confidence in the shorter format of the game, and I think that's why people aren't scared to chase anymore. They back themselves a lot more than they would in the test arena.
I don't think it's that. I think for this one specifically, I think there's two arguments. This one specifically, I think it is harder to bat on first time round, just because it seems like it sticks in the wicket a little bit, and then once you get a little bit dewy, it just slides onto the bat nicely. So I would give it that. But I think the other one is you just don't know how big to go first time round in general batting first conditions. But I think in India, in these conditions, when you're starting at this time, you've got to chase.
Because the dew, again, that's another factor.
That is a big factor.
This is making bowlers ineffective, essentially.
They were saying, so these matches start at 7 o'clock. They were saying the IPL games, they start at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it evens out slightly.
But because you look at the first game, you look at the second game, and the chase was just too easy, and like good bowlers, like, they were getting put around. Adil Rashid, this game compared to the first, he got absolutely mullered, 4 overs for 38. Yeah, it took a wicket, but didn't make a difference.
Nah, but I think India could do better. I think India could definitely do better than they did in the first game. I think that was...
the first game was an eye-opener. I feel they like to do this and, just put themselves under it a bit.
But I'm happy with that, though. I don't mind that so much because you're coming to a World Cup. You want to try a few things. The formula right now for India doesn't work for me. It doesn't work when you're being overly cautious up top. You're trying to build a partnership and you're trying to go hard middle to lower orders because, I don't know, it's good, but it's almost played out. England have set a new formula in white ball cricket, and that's go hard from ball one.
Just go.
Go hard, yeah. I think they're fearless batting, and their batting lineup, they have no fear. If they fail, and they expect to fail maybe twice every 10 games, they'll just take that and roll with
Jason Roy, perfect example. He's batted wonderfully for the first 2 games. Like this recent one, he just got 46 of 35.
He got 40s in both, right?
Yeah, and what more do you want from an opener? As in, obviously, you can say, give me 100, whatever. But, Joe, like, 46 from your opener off 35 balls is wonderful in the 2020 game. Like, you take it.
Yeah, but I think that formula is not India's formula either. So I don't think India need
No,
to find what
they
works
don't
for
have the
them.
players to suit it.
Yeah, they don't have and they've got the quality to do better than just go out there and smack. So
Yeah.
what I think they need to find out is a formula where somebody can go hard from ball 1-5, whatever it is in the first over, and then somebody can sit back slightly and do the Kohli kind of role. Probably Sharma will do when he comes in. Just get off strike. If it's a loose ball, put it away, and then someone could do an Ishan Kishan type of role where you go in there, every ball is a bloody bad ball. You'll find a way to hit it, and if it don't, then it don't. And I like the experiment they did with Pant as well. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But it's worth having that X factor where you just chuck him up at the top.
They're giving him more responsibility, I think.
He showed maturity in the way he builds his innings and he attacks balls. I think he's more selective now than he was before.
Yeah, and he's still
credit
moving.
To him.
Yeah, he's worked hard, man. His game's changed significantly.
Yeah, I think he's done well on that not yo-yo diet, yo-yo test. Because he's lost a few pounds.
Look, lockdown worked out well for him. He just went and worked at his game, and
he lost weight.
Yeah, and he's come out so much better for it. Like as Shashti said, they had a way with him. They told him, you need to sort it out if you want to be playing international cricket, and he went back and done it. Some people would argue and whatever. Like you have 2 Indian players who failed the fitness test. And it's like, how much do you really want to be an international cricketer? That's where you got a question.
Yeah, I get that, but I think it's also hard because if you're coming from an environment where fitness isn't the most important thing, I think you need a bit of leeway to say, all right, cool, you failed it here. It's not going to affect you getting into the team right now. But if you fail again in, I don't know, a month's time, 2 months' time, then your position's on the threat. Because you can't expect someone. I know most of these cricketers with IPL, their full-time job is cricket, but they don't still have the infrastructure around them that some of the more established players have. Coaches, nutrition.
I got the opposite view of you. I agree. I like it. It's India making a point now to all their players from top through to the bottom, letting the people at the bottom of the system know if you want to be at this top level, this is the minimum standard, and there's no we'll give you you hit the standard if you want to play.
No, I agree. I do think it is needed, and it's a good message to set. But I think it depends on when that message was sent out. Do you know, if that message has been out for about a year or so saying this is our standard, if you don't meet this and you get called up and you fail this test, then you're not going to make it. Or if that is just then it's fair enough.
It's been out there, so essentially.
But how strictly were they saying it?
So Dhoni brought in one, right, when he became captain, and then Virat Kohli, when he became captain, he upped it. And so it's been going, like the fitness standard thing's been there for a long time, but certain players, based on reputation, were getting away with it. But now, because you're looking at a new generation where you have to find new talent, right? There's no way they're going to give you the leeway, like other players did.
I'm looking at that team. Most of the test team included. I don't know who would fail the fitness test. To be honest, most.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Most would pass it.
You can see in the Indian team selection, not many of them are like, Indians. Indian team used to have a lot of chubby people, like with a curry belly. But it's hard to see that nowadays in the Indian team. There's not many, if any. But let's go back. I think so. The England innings, they still got 164, which wasn't bad. And while I was watching it, a lot of the time I was thinking, God damn, they're gonna get away. They're gonna score 200 at the rate they're moving. But I think the Indians got key wickets at key times and bowled really well in the second half of the game and brought themselves back into it. Otherwise, I could have seen them chasing 220.
Yeah, I think they bowled smart. Washington bowled smart. Shardul Thakur bowled smart. Bowled a lot of cutters into the pitch. read the pitch really well, and done what was needed on that pitch really. But I think England should have got 170. I think at least, and that the par on that pitch was 180. I think India still would have got 180 to be honest, because the advantage is so big batting second.
Yeah, I think based on the first game, you're thinking 150 is still par.
Nah, I knew 170 was par on that.
I was still thinking 150, 160 is par. But then as England started batting, very quickly I realised, no, you need at least 180 on this pitch now.
When India started batting, yeah?
No, when England started batting.
As soon as they started.
Because
okay.
England looked like they were going to score 200 plus at one point. They looked like they was going to go. Like, it didn't look like you're going to get Jason Roy out. It didn't look like you were going to get Milan out. Like, it was looking a bit ominous. But then we got life and got some wickets. Like, they bowled to plans and done well. Like,
yeah, I'm still not sure about India's bowling lineup as well. I don't know if it's the best combination for what we've got. We've got such riches in our bowling department as well.
Remember, two bowlers come back.
Are not around.
Bumrah, Jadeja will be back round. Shami, I'm not so sure if he plays 2020s.
No, I don't think he does.
But, I think you throw Bumrah back into that bowling lineup, you throw Jadeja back into that bowling lineup, you've got a lot more experience and a lot more threat coming out of it. Because I get what you mean.
Might play.
I hope he does. I like him. Him. He's a specialist.
Specialist T20 bowler. 4 Yorkers.
He's got it all. Like tape ball cricket man, who's made it this far. But I think you look at the Indian bowling lineup right now, and who really strikes fear in your heart looking at the five that bowled. Chahal, that's about it.
And he would have been the one I would say you could probably drop him.
No, look, I wouldn't be scared by Bhuvneshwar, who's coming back from injury. Washington, not so much. Still, like early days for him. Shardul, hit or miss.
Hardik, I like him though. I like him. Shardul Thakur could be the bowling all rounder.
Look, he's really good on his day, but he's not consistent. He's played a lot of games for India. Like
I know he's played more than we think. I get him mixed up with.
Dhoni loved him. Dhoni absolutely loved him. He's played 2 tests, 12 one-dayers, and 19 T20s. So, he's been about a bit now, but it's nice to see. I just want to see some more consistency from him. I want do that more regularly. Assess the pitch. I don't mind if you go in your first over if you're just trying to see what the pitch is going to give you. But then I want from overs 2, 3, and 4, I want you to know what you're doing and bowl to the pitch accordingly, or bowl to the ground. So that's what you need with him. But then,
what about Hardik's bowling? I think that was impressive.
It was
his bowling and his batting.
Again, there's variations. He bowled towards the pitch. He got hit a couple of times, but everyone got hit a couple of times, and he bowled well. At a time where things could look like they were going to get away, he came in and he changed their mindset.
Yeah, I like his attitude towards the game. I see a lot of similarities between him and Stokes. Not just in the obvious, you bowl and you bat and you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve, but it's just the attitude and the commitment towards cricket.
So something the commentators pointed out was that Kohli was going to Pandya a lot, having conversations about fielding and bowling changes and stuff, which was maybe just shows how much how well he sees the game.
They were having a heated debate before the game as well, I think, around their batting, which was interesting to see. Like, what was he telling Kohli, right? Because must be something around power here. But his levers are ridiculous.
I think it's probably something like, do you know what, Kohli, why don't you just go and open? Stop fucking around and saying, "Oh, you go and open." You just go and open. Do what you do in it.
He can do that.
He does in
He can do
IPL.
that.
Does in IPL. So I don't understand why he doesn't do
But
it.
Kohli's had a rough season. He just needs a few games, and then he needs a really lengthy period where he just cashes in. And hopefully, if he gets a couple of decent scores in a row, that could kick that off just before the World Cup.
Well, look, this works perfect as we move into the Indian innings. So, well, look, Kohli, 73 or 49. It was
One
wonderful.
chance.
Yeah, well, he's out in it, really. The stumping.
What was the chance? The stumping. Do you think he's out?
Yeah, there's nothing behind the line, man. Literally
No,
nothing.
I thought there was something behind the line.
There's not
Behind the
one.
line.
There was not one bit. Not one bit.
No, there was something behind the line.
Literally, there was nothing, and I sort of started giggling to myself, like, they're not going to do it. They're not going to give Kohli out right now. They're not. They just won't do it. It's just
I genuinely thought there was something behind the line on that one. I think the Rohit ones.
There was no evidence to show there was something behind. There was enough evidence to show it's on the line. There was nothing to me.
Yeah, so there was enough evidence to show that it was on the line for sure. I thought there was an evidence to show that it could have been just over, but you couldn't tell if it was the shadow or if it was the shoot.
It was too blurry, and they only had one proper angle.
And you could. I don't think you could have seen it. It's a stump view camera would have given a good view, but you just couldn't time it.
That's what's.
Yeah, but you couldn't time it. You couldn't time it when the veils were coming up. That was the difficulty. I think he couldn't match up that clip to that clip, so there wasn't enough to overturn it. I don't think.
No, exactly. That's what they'll say as well. It's like there's not enough to say it was out, innit? Like you're going to give the batsman the benefit of the doubt goes to the batsman. It doesn't go to anyone else.
Yeah, but I think from keeper's reaction, he thought he got in. I think even Butler said to Kohli afterwards, "Yeah, I thought that was out." So I think if there was the right camera views, etc., you're probably right. But I think from the evidence that was available, you couldn't overturn it.
We'll agree to disagree. But let's not take away from anything. Kohli, that was master of the chase. He averages something, I believe it's like 83 when chasing. Like, you know. And do you know what's great about it? He just plays his cricket. He doesn't try and slog. You know, like he did try a couple after he got his 50, but like,
that's what he's got to remember, though. That's where other players help. For Kohli to succeed, he needs other players to play their role.
Yeah.
Exactly. For him to be his best, he can slog. He can come in later on, go up and down in the gears, whatever he needs to do. But let him play that game where he just gets in, strokes the ball, gets off strike, comes back, takes a two, strokes the ball again. Doesn't have to overpower it or go over the top. I don't think he's that comfortable going over the top too early.
Look, even on the way he played the innings was wonderful, and he was still striking just short of 150. What more do you want? What more do you? There's nothing. Like he's ticked the boxes. Like, and you talk about people playing around him, and the first man you have to talk about is Ishan Kishan. He was wonderful.
He's someone that India have missed. Is that type of player, just explosive. And I hope he continues, and he has done that, because I think however good Shreyas Iyer is, I think Shreyas Iyer is Kohli.
Yeah,
he's that kind of mold of player. I think, Rahul as well. I think he's that sort of player, and I think they're that India haven't really had a power hitter. They had Dhoni, but even that.
Look at the size of this kid, and he's a power hitter. He's so small and skinny, but fair play to him. He does.
Look at Pandya as well. Look at Hardik Pandya. He's skinny, but he can hit a ball. The way his hands go through the ball.
He's got levers in it. Like
he's got levers.
Big arms. Ishan Kishan is just a little fella, but he produces so much power. He just gets right through it. He's got quick hands. That's all right for him. But that was nice to see. Like 4 sixes, 5 fours, 32 balls, 56.
Yeah, as disappointed I was with the reverse sweep shot attempted twice. it's
that's how
good to
they
see a
play.
bit of.
Let him
It's a
play.
good, yeah. It's good to see a bit of fearlessness, not worrying that it's your debut and having to get
Yeah.
out. So it's good to see that as well. But I think it's obviously the wrong shot because he was playing so well conventional. You might as well continue that. He tried it once, it didn't work. Just continue playing conventional shots for a bit longer.
Just keep doing what you're doing, man. Get to that pitch and just cream it out of the ground.
Yeah, but I think so. We got explosion in him if we have him up at the top. Then if we can get Rishabh Pant going, I think he's still a bit unsure. I don't think he knows how to
He's
get.
still learning it, how to be more
Yeah,
responsible.
not even that. I think he struggles to hit the good balls for singles. He'll get bogged down. Like he'll just if it's not there to kind of
Put his
fully
right
go
hand
after a
through it.
fully hit, yeah,
Yeah.
and it kind of just hits the splice. I don't think he can work it well enough to get a one. And I think that's the only bit that he needs to figure out in T20s because he's going to put the full ball and the short ball away. But it's that one that just keeps hitting the splice. And England bowlers with Wood back in the team, that's what they're going to do. They're going to keep hitting that splice. And I think he can waste a lot of balls there. If he can figure out how to just kind of just angle his bat, if it's outside, is off, just run it down, get a single, or just do my shot, basically flip it off your hips and get that one and get off strike. He'll be the explosive player we need in the middle, and then we've got Hardik at the end. So
Well,
I think
you
we
say
might
that,
be covered.
but still, yeah. Aya only came in, faced 8 balls. Game was more or less done, right? So you didn't get to see much of him this game. But you still got Surya Kumar Yadav, the Mumbai fella, just sitting there. And
but
he's a quality player.
But I think him and Suresh Iyer are both quality players and both good. But I think they're probably more. I don't know what their strike rates are, but it's probably more in the Kohli kind of bracket than the 180, 160 Pollard, De Villiers crazy stuff. So I think the teams need to be built around these guys. So if one of those three, included Rohit Sharma, needs to sort of bat a longer innings, and then not hold up an end, because I think nobody can hold up an end in T20, but almost go at 120, go at 110 even, and then just let the other guys have a base where they can just let loose.
Give them a couple of balls and then boom, gone.
Mm.
Look, realistically, Rohit replaces Rahul, and I'm quite happy with that batting lineup. I don't have too many concerns.
I want to see Rahul in that team, but I don't know where I see that. I think he's good to be around that team, and if there's an injury, he steps in.
Yeah, that's what I think he is good at. Look, it's only been 2 games. He hasn't done well so far, but end of the day, there's a World Cup a few months away. You can't afford to be getting, 6-ball ducks in the first over.
Yeah,
you're not doing a case of injustice. And you've got Rohit sitting there. You've got Prithvi Shaw, Shubman Gill, Ishan Kishan, Shikhar Dhawan. There's enough men who want that spot. Even Mayank Agarwal's not even getting a look in, and he was like second highest top run scorer in the IPL last season.
In India, Prithvi Shaw might not be a bad shout opening the innings. Short guy, gets really underneath the ball, and he's aggressive.
Right, I don't know if you saw that, but his what Indian One Day Cup, the Vijay Hazare Cup or whatever, he's been absolutely pounding it. And then another fellow who's been killing it is Padikkal. He played for RCB, the left-handed opener from the under-19s. He banged 4 centuries in a row.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. And Prithvi Shaw, he banged, I think, 2 double centuries.
Yeah.
There's a vast abundance of talent. So KL Rahul needs to get his finger out and start scoring some runs. Otherwise, he's in jeopardy of not making the World Cup.
Well, you got to watch the IPL's there, right? So
especially if one of these other guys, if one of these guys has a great IPL and he doesn't, or has a better IPL than him, I don't think he's a guaranteed person. I think right now, looking at it, Kohli, Pandya, like batting wise, they're all going. And Rohit Sharma, they're all going.
To be honest, Rishabh Pant, if he doesn't find a home in that explosive role and being able to get off the ball that hits the splice hard, I wouldn't pick him. If he can't find the home there, I'll keep trying him there. I'll keep trying him there for a few more games, the rest of the game, keep playing him in those positions. But I wouldn't pick him. I'll take KL Rahul in the middle or somebody else.
Well, this is
because he can't. If he can't get off that ball, they will just keep giving him that kind of ball that hits the splice, and he can't get any runs off that.
But I don't think that's. I think the fact that he can just the way he can whack a ball and change a game, that just puts him in the seat to go.
He's in the seat to go now. KL Rahul's in the seat to go now, so it's not an issue. I think if Rishabh Pant struggles to rotate the strike on the balls where it's not full or short, I think he doesn't have a place in that batting lineup because they're trying to play him as that explosive player in the top middle order.
I don't know if they're trying to play him as the explosive. I think
they are. I
think they're trying to play him as in just play the innings. From whenever you come in, play the innings as opposed to just go out and whack a ball. Because he looks a lot more.
Why would you get him to do that? KL Rahul, then he wouldn't. If you're saying KL Rahul's going to struggle to get his place up top, you'd rather KL do that. KL's better than Pant at doing that.
Yeah, no, I think so. But I think they've got a lot more faith in Rishabh Pant right now. They're just trying to run with his form, innit? The fact that he's in good form, they're just trying to see how much can they get out of him.
I think that is his spot. That is his spot. But he's got to make it happen. I don't think he's quite made it happen in T20.
4 should be Shreyas Iyer, and then 5 should be Rishabh Pant.
Yeah, so 4-5, I think, depending on circumstances. But I think for the sake of trials or trying it out, these games, it might be worth keep sending him up there as a wild card.
Just see what you get out of him, innit? Like, Kohli wasn't annoyed when he got out either.
No, I wouldn't be annoyed if he goes in there, he gets a full ball and he smashes it straight to a fielder, or he gets a short one, he pulls it and he smashes it to a fielder. I wouldn't be annoyed at that if he has to go with that. What I would get annoyed at is if he keeps getting that ball that's hitting the top of off bail and he can't find a way to score. And that's what I saw. He couldn't find a way of scoring against that ball, which people will figure that out. If he can't find a way of scoring again in T20s, that even 5, 6 balls, 4 balls, 4 dot balls, that's cost you a game.
That's very interesting. So, comprehensive Indian win. What are your thoughts for tomorrow?
I reckon if he calls tails, then he'll have a good chance to win the game. Basically, whoever gets the toss wins the game.
Well, always to call.
Yeah, I would like to see India bat first. I want India to lose the toss and bat first.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
And set something decent. Even if you don't win it, I don't think you'll win it because the conditions will be so unevenly balanced.
Can this new batting lineup set a score? That's your new challenge.
Yeah, but I would rather test them now and fail and figure out what's wrong and what needs changing before the World Cup.
Yeah. Right. So apparently the pitch is going to be a Turner because it's going to be a Turner. Yeah. So apparently England are already looking at Moeen Ali to return to the lineup before they send him home after a game.
Ali should be in that lineup. I like Sam Curran in the lineup, but I think you need Wood in that lineup.
It's such a violation that Moeen Ali doesn't even start in that 2020 team. He literally is captained. He's been like the best T20 player in the English game for like the last 2 years. And then to go with it, he's probably one of them with the experience he has, who's just actually good at 2020 cricket internationally.
And in India.
Exactly. They're only playing one spinner, which I think is still to their detriment. They don't need to be playing 6 seamers. Do you know what I mean? It's just not necessary.
Yeah, I think for some reason they just don't.
Moen definitely deserves a place. Like one of these seamers has to drop out. So I hope to see him, but the way the England team
I want to see him, but
is a bit shambolic, really.
I think having Wood in the team is something good as well, though, for England. That extra pace was really not. It wasn't comfortable for the Indians.
Look, man, I think you only need one of the Curran brothers to begin with.
Oh yeah. You just need Sam Curran, really. You don't need Tom Curran. It's just, I guess he's come along. His dad's paid the full fees.
I'd take Sam over Tom.
Sam that's what I said.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said you don't need Sam.
No. Their dad's just paid the double fees, so he's just like taking both. You don't need to play Tom because you play Sam.
Yeah, no, I think Sam's a better one. Sam's better than the two Currans.
I think he's got more heart and he offers you swing. Nobody else offers swing in that England T20 lineup. So I would say bowl him 2 up front, get him to come in the middle, bowl an aggressive spell with cutters and slow ball bouncers and all sorts of mixed up, and he'll do you a good job for 4 overs. Get Wood in there with a bit of pace and find space for Ali as well. Who do you bring in?
I have a feeling England are going to arrest Archer after this game. I think Archer's done after this.
Oh, he's not playing in the one days.
I think they may just rest him for the last 2 games or something.
Okay.
This is just me just thinking in my mind because he's not fully fit. He's still nursing this elbow injury.
Yeah.
World Cup coming, Ashes coming, and the way they like to manage workloads, he needs to be rested if they want to get him for the World Cup and the Ashes.
Yeah, okay. So, on a serious note, for tomorrow's game, I think it does depend on the toss, but both scenarios, if India bat first or whoever bats first, I think it's probably going to be, a less of a score will win you that game, but I would still think 160 is par on that pitch.
Yeah, bare minimum you need is 160 to compete.
I would like to see KRL continue, not Rohit Sharma just yet. Just to let him have that chance.
Give him one more chance.
Yeah, give him one more chance. Rohit's in no rush to come back.
There's
He's got his
2
place.
more games after him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So that's fine. I think everything else probably keep the same. The whole team will keep the same.
I want to see India bat first, and I want to see them put on some runs. I wouldn't change much in that team beyond.
But if they bat first, they're going to lose, right? So are you happy for them to bat first, lose, but still learn and put on runs? I
think they might have a good in here. I'm backing it. That I know there's a very high likelihood they'll lose, but I have this feeling like that tomorrow's the day they're going to just put on some runs. I think Rahul's going to come good.
Yeah, but then your bowler's got to back you up. I don't think that bowlers can take wickets.
Well, if they're playing Natarajan
in the second innings.
If they're playing Natarajan,
is he fit?
Is he not? Is he not in the squad?
Yeah, he's in the squad. Yeah.
He's in the squad, then he should be playable. No, he must not be fit because I would be starting him before Boothie for sure.
Boothie gives you 2 overs, maybe 3 overs. I think he always has one bad over in him.
Who?
Bhuvneshwar.
Oh yeah, standard.
Because once it stops swinging,
it's his opening spell which is always the most devastating.
Yeah.
He never comes back well.
No, you almost want to just bowl him out for free, man. Bowl his free out top, and then if you need the extra one, you need the extra one, or find it from somewhere else.
Yeah, but again, the Indians, the problem they have is, like back in the day, the batsman could still bowl a bit. But now these batsmen, they can't really bowl. You can't trust them to bowl a few overs.
You don't need them because you don't need that spinner. You got Roy, but you don't really need him because Hardik is so good. You need Hardik Pandya to be bowling 4 overs. That's a different India side.
As a
when he's bowling
captain,
4.
would you not like it that, say, your 5 bowlers, right? Say one of them's going to the cleaners, right? And it's not changing. Would you not like to have the ability to go to when you're about to, look, do you know what? Give me a couple of overs, please. And they actually come in and do a good job.
I would like it.
Why not? Get the Yadav.
Yeah, I would like it, but I think we've got more specialists now. If that makes sense. I'm not saying Suresh Raina wasn't a specialist batsman because he obviously was, but I think you still got Rohit Sharma there, who, if you need a spinner in certain circumstances to just give you 2 overs, he could probably give you 2 overs.
Yeah, but look, right now there's no Rohit, so
there's no Rohit.
There's literally right now, even if any of these guys get sent, that guy bowling off the wrong foot.
It's good. I think bowling off the wrong foot is the way forward.
It's so off-putting. As a batsman, I'd be so off-put. Like, what the hell? What are you doing? That's just messing with my trigger.
You know that I bowl off the wrong foot.
Yeah, you're a goddamn nightmare. Because you bang it in short, and you're coming from like 12 foot up in the air, and you're overstepping by about a mile as well. So it's just like
it's all in one, mate.
When I face you, do you know what it is? I prepare myself. Just accept you're going to wear a couple. Just accept it, and then you can actually try and play you. Because otherwise, if you don't accept that, trying to play you in the nets is just pointless. You're just going to get hit.
But I know I'm not a bowler, right? My role in the net is to help you understand how to face short bowling. That's what my role is. Even
though no one on these English pitches we come up against will be banging it that quick or that high at your head.
Yeah, but you never know, right? I just need you to be prepared for it. just so your game is like tight enough in case you get that short ball. I don't want you to be like, oh, nobody gave me that in the net.
Oh, mate, honestly, please. It's such Jermaine and Otis is bowling fucking short.
Fire!
It's like, bro, do that in the match and watch how they bang you for 6.
As I said, the more angry they get, the shorter they bowl.
Oh yeah, and then the further they travel. That's the worst part of it. They lose like any concept of line and length. They're just angry, like, I'm gonna fire it in. And it's
like, that's I remember when they're actually bowling top of off or just swinging it, like it's almost unplayable.
Oh look, when
even now at times.
Look, when these guys hit their length, any fast bowler, you hit your length, is amazing, isn't it? But the catch comes, it's like when someone puts you off it.
But why do you? I don't understand. Like I see, like I keep a lot, right? And bowlers hit that length. Why don't you just keep hitting that length? You're trying to search for that wicket. Just hit that length and be patient.
Well, that's it. It's patience, isn't it? Like, see, for me, the only time I will change my length, like I know my spot I want to bowl, regardless of where.
Right?
Not even. I just bowl on a decent length and get them. I want them driving, and
you want them driving. Just yeah.
So I bowl on that sort of length, and I've got it now down to a T. I can bowl that now just consistently. But
yeah, I know.
If they start moving around and start coming at me, it fucks it all up. So then that's when you have to start changing it up and whatever. And I hate doing that, but that's the only time you need to do it. Otherwise, you just got to be patient, like you said, and just hit the spot. But
that's why you need the keepers to stand up to you, bro. So they can't
not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, you bowl much better.
For me, if the keeper stands up, the only way I'm realistically gonna get a wicket is LBW or stumping. And at the level of cricket we play, LBW doesn't exist. And stumpings.
No, but if you've got 2 slips, your slips are going to be in the catching position. I'm saying, like, don't start up. But as soon as that player is stuck on the crease and he's like, I'm struggling to hit the swing, and then he's gonna. If I'm batting, right, when I'm batting, I just think, what am I doing? If I can't, if somebody's swinging the ball, I'm thinking, all right, cool. I'm standing a meter outside and I'm taking a big stride. So I'm meeting it before it's got even a chance of swinging or it's just pitched.
See, for
Right.
me,
So,
right, what it is when the keeper stands up, right, in my head, it's like the batsman's not going to play that drive I want him to play now. Now he's going to go more into his shell and not be as expansive because the keeper's up. Do you know what I mean?
he'll still be expansive. It just keeps him on his inside his crease. I'm saying that should happen when they step out. Some bowlers, I think, you need the batsman to be in his crease and know he can't take that positive step forward. Because when it's swinging, when it's swinging, if he's just sort of tentative and he's just hanging back, that's when there's a chance of an edge. But if he's quite positive and he gets his bat through to it, he's most likely going to smother it or just smash it down. All right, Dils, I'm going to have to go, mate.
Yeah.